Good afternoon. My name is Annabelle Farnham, class of 2018, and I'm proud to present the undefeated 1983 girls varsity swimming and diving team for induction into the Hall of Fame. Led by head coach Tom Crane and assistant Mary Hawken, the 1983 Williston girls swimming and diving team enjoyed a truly remarkable season. As the first undefeated girls swim team in our school's history, the team finished with a perfect 11-0 record. Only 3 girls swim teams have accomplished this feat: 1983, 1989, and most recently, this year's 2018 team. There were many terrific dual meet wins during the 1983 season, highlighted by an exciting victory over rival Suffield and a thrilling season-ending win over a perennially tough choke team. The team's success was highlighted by breaking a remarkable 8 school records. Team captain Wendy Libby set a new school diving record that lasted until 2002. She remains on our school's honor roll as one of the top divers in school history. Fellow diver Mary Ellen Bolt was an outstanding diver as well, joining Wendy on the school's all-time diving honor roll. Also setting school records that winter were 2 of the team's relays, the 200 medley and the 400 freestyle. The record set by the 200 medley relay team of Vicki Natardi, Michelle Kennedy, Karen Whittaker, and Melissa Peters still stands on our school's honor roll as one of the top relay swims ever in that event. Setting individual records that winter were Laura Morseman in the 100 free, Michelle Kennedy in the 100 backstroke, and Vicki Natardi in the 100 fly, 200 IM, and 500 free. The team finished 3rd on the highly competitive CISAC Swim Championships in Connecticut. Swimming against the top swimmers in the prep ranks, the 400 freestyle relay team came in 2nd, Vicki Natardi finished 2nd in the 100 fly, and Wendy Libby came in 2nd in diving. It was truly a remarkable and memorable season for this special team. Will coaches Crane and Hawken and all team members present please join me on stage to receive your awards.
So as Annabelle said, we were the first undefeated girls swim team, but not the last. So kudos to the current group. I imagine there's some swimmers out there in the audience now. Is that true? Yeah. It's hard to measure up to the challenge of the Babcock years in swimming here at Williston, Northampton. But one thing that we had that the Babcock teams did not was girl power. You have to understand that at that time, Williston was an entirely boys' school. So it took us a few years to get there, but the outcome was terrific. I've been told to keep this short. This is the last presentation, so let me first acknowledge the wonderful accomplishments of the swimmers and divers of the 1983 team. I think Annabelle did a pretty good job of summarizing those. I will not recognize individuals right now other than to say that Michelle Kennedy, I'm going to use your original name, was a terrific backstroker and one of the leaders on that team. Everyone contributed. I only wish that there were more members of the team here today, but this is Mother's Day weekend, unfortunately. Instead, I'd like to share just a couple of things. First, some context. In 1982, our team was undefeated going into the last meet of the season against Choke Rosemary Hall. We lost. Many of the swimmers felt pretty dejected at the result, and Karen Whitaker Kovacs, who unfortunately can't be here today, reminds me that on that occasion I actually wrote a poem to the group and read it called The Undefeated Season. Now, I won't burden you with the poem. I'm an English teacher, so it's hard for me to keep this short. In any event, the central point of the poem was that loss is a forgotten but important part of sports. There is always someone bigger, always someone faster or smarter than you are, as my father once told me. As a swimmer, I eventually learned not to get wrapped up in what the other swimmer is doing, but the real competition is with oneself, recognizing and then striving to exceed one's own limits. This can be pretty frustrating and lonely, especially when one is in the middle of what we call a plateau in swimming, where you go sometimes for weeks without any improvement. And this brings me to the second point, that something more is needed in the midst of the plateaus to keep swimmers interested and motivated. It's a grueling sport and can be very boring. As one wit once said to me, "Who swims laps up and down the pool over and over just to get to the same place at the end that they began?" What's the point? Well, practices are meant to be demanding, but they're also meant, or there has to be some kind of fun. This is where I had some learning to do, and I'm going to recall something that Karen Whitaker said to me. "You are such a hard-ass, Craney." It was at or about this time when Mary Hocken, my co-coach, came to my rescue. She found ways to develop team spirit that I hadn't thought of, one of which was the famous chocolate fondue evenings at her apartment over in Swan Cottage. We would bring chocolate bars, fruit, pieces of bread, anything to dip into this wonderful sweetness. And at these get-togethers and later on long bus trips to away meets, swimmers bonded. And as was said in the introduction, this ultimately culminated in a tremendous show of team spirit at meets against Suffield and Choate. And we managed to do in 1983 what we hadn't done in 1982. We finished undefeated. So hats off to you alumni that were part of that season, and congratulations on the recognition you are receiving today. And I'd like to ask my cohort here if they want to say anything. Please join me up here.
He was a hard ass. He was a hard ass, and I cannot say how incredible swimmers are. I swim just for fun across Pucker's Pond in Amherst and back, but swimmers have a determination like no other sport, and I'm a tennis player still and do various other things, but swimmers, just the sheer guts that they have is incredible, and I am full of admiration. It was a high honor to be part of this incredible team, and to work actually with Tom was okay. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. It's a great honor, and I'm just amazed. I can say wow to everything I've heard today, from the athletes historically to present. It's just amazing what's come through Williston. I'm proud to be an alumni. I was a swimmer. I started at the age of 9, came to Williston 9th through 12th, had a blast. And sports is about having fun. I can say, we're supposed to say a few minutes about how we think it's reflecting back into what it's brought into our life. As I was speaking to my daughter coming here on the way, I can say that I think for all sports, for myself as well as being a swimmer my whole life, I think it teaches you self-discipline, perseverance. It makes you who you are today, and it lays a foundation for who you're going to be in the future, your success. So I just want to say thank you, and that's it.